Have you ever wondered how you could build and launch your own app without writing any code in just 7 days? In this video series, we're going to do exactly that. We will be taking a business idea, building it using modern AI tools, create a marketing website, and launch it publicly all in less than a single week of work time. Hi, I'm Benjamin, and I've been building tech companies for the past 15 years. But the world of tech is changing super fast, and for the first time, people without coding skills can actually turn their ideas into real software products incredibly quickly. I will be building and launching 2 minimal products every single month, testing them in the market. Let's jump into building our first product. I recently came across a problem while scrolling social media. I noticed that I almost never engage in conversations, and even the comments on my own posts do not have a reply. And that's because replying takes time, effort, and mental energy. What if replying would be effortlessly? This could be a solution right here. We are building an AI-powered browser extension that creates replies directly on the scrolling feed. We will tell AI how we would like to respond, and it will create a smart reply for us. That makes us sound like a genius without ever using our brain. And we can go right back to doom scrolling. Here's how it's going to work technically. When you click reply on your social media feed, we will be collecting the comment as well as the username and the post context and send that to the server. The server will forward this to GPT 5.2 to create a suitable response. The browser extension can now insert that reply directly into the comment field of the browser. That makes replying to comments a piece of cake. Let's start vibe coding our app. On the first day, I focused entirely on building the browser extension itself. To do this, I used Cursor, which is an AI-powered coding tool that can code better than your uncle that learned HTML in 1999. With the very first prompt, we are roughly describing the product we have in mind. It has to be specific enough that the AI understands what you actually wanted to do, but not too specific that there's no room for creativity left. In my case, it came up with some great features, like choosing the response style and adding an emoji option. Let's load it into Chrome and see if this works. To my surprise, it already opens when I click a comment field, but it's still not perfect. Some UI details were definitely off. For example, the select boxes were white text on white background, and there were no toggle switches at all. A few quick fixes later, the interface looked already usable and the way it should. And now comes the real test. At this point, everything was perfectly ready, except for the brain of the app. So I headed over to ChatGPT, created a new API key, and I used that in the server which Cursor already created. When I launched the server, went back to my browser and clicked generate, the magic happened. We just got our first reply, which had been created automatically. The plugin actually worked. This was a moment where the project stopped being a concept and started feeling more like a real product. On day 2, I focused mainly on fixing technical issues and improving the usability. So responding to a single post would work totally fine, but the tool would fail if I select a specific comment to reply to. So the generated response was completely useless. I also added multi-language support and a local history of replies, so each comment could generate multiple possible reply options. By the end of day 2, LinkedIn was fully working, and honestly, that was easier than expected. Quick pause, if you have made it this far and still enjoying the content, please hit the like or subscribe button. It helped out the channel tremendously, and make sure you don't miss any of the next builds. And in return, here's a picture of my dog vibe coding. On day 3, I noticed a problem. Cursor had put most of the code into one big file, which is not great for maintainability. Each social media platform has a different HTML structure. So if we want to add YouTube or Instagram to the tool, we need to be able to interact with these platforms. So I separated the code into 2 parts. One is the shared core, which contains functionality like UI and reply generation. And the second part is individual files to interact with LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. They are responsible for grabbing username, context, and comments. This way the logic stays clean and scalable. It took a few iterations, but eventually all platforms worked. I also added some basic server-side limits to prevent misuse, and at this point the product was pretty much done. Now we have a working tool, but no name, no branding, and no identity. So I fired up ChatGPT again, asking it for some name ideas. I described the product and got several ideas to choose from now. SocialReply came up and I thought, that sounds like a good option. So I went with that. Next I generated the logo, which I can now add directly to the website as well as the browser extension. On day 4 it was finally time to present SocialReply to the world. AI is incredibly fast at building websites, but there's a catch. They all look the same. Here's a small hack for that. Instead of asking AI to design the entire page, I told it to create only the structure with no styling and no content. From there I added everything step by step. A short teaser animation, a download section, and of course some key selling points. The teaser was definitely the most challenging part. I wanted to have a social media feed on the left hand side and on the right hand side a browser plugin live demo. The result is a clean, animated website that would normally take weeks to build, done in a single day. The static website will be hosted on a public GitHub repository using Pages. This option is completely free of charge. Once GitHub Pages is enabled, the main branch is selected, and the website is instantly live under the public URL provided, including SSL encryption. And if you want to, you can still purchase a custom domain like mySuperAwesomeSoftwareTool.com rocks at any provider. The entire site used to live on my laptop only and now is actually public. Let's move on to the backend, shall we? Next I'm spinning up an AWS app runner to make our backend server available. It loads our project directly from GitHub and all we need to do is to tell Cursor that we want to use App Runner. A quick check in the browser and the server is live and reachable from anywhere. These hosting methods are mostly serverless, so there's no active maintenance required and it simply works. In the last step we will be releasing the browser extension into the official stores of Google, Apple and Mozilla. So we have to head over to Google and sign up for a developer account. With one prompt, Cursor makes SocialReply release ready and we only have to fill out the application form on the Google website. Once reviewed by Google, the plugin is online in the official store. So Google Chrome is done. Let's repeat the process for Safari and Firefox. We got a couple of hours left and I'm not very happy with the design yet. So it's time to give it a fresh, clean and modern look. A couple of prompts in our design went from early 2000s right to the modern era. Here's SocialReply in action writing a comment to this nice user on YouTube. And we are finished. In just a few days, we went from having an idea to a real product, complete with brand and the live website. Thank you so much for watching. I genuinely love to hear what you think about it, so drop some comments below. And if you have a great idea of your own, submit it on my website and your product might be the next one I build. You can try SocialReply for free. You find the link below. Subscribe to follow the build journey.